Welcome back, everyone, to another Bleak Rides micro-documentary. Today I present the life and times of an amazing woman, Mary Mcgee. So let's get into it. Mary Mcgee raced not just to cross the finish line, but to cross boundaries, ones drawn by society, tradition, and the limitations placed on women in the motorsports. Her story isn't just about racing, it's about grit, daring, and unrelenting drive to pursue what lies beyond the horizon. In the America of 1930s and 40s, girls weren't encouraged to dream of fast cars or roaring engines. Mary was born in Alaska, later moved to Iowa for a short time, and would end up in Arizona. Raised in a culture that celebrated conformity, she dared to be different. Growing up, Mary exhibited a fierce independence and an adventurous spirit. Her love for speed wasn't inherited. There was no racing tradition in her family, but it seemed almost innate. By the time she reached her teenage years, the seeds of rebellion against societal expectations had already been planted. She dreamed of a life beyond the confines of a small town in Arizona. Mary began as a spectator, enthralled by the excitement of the racetrack. But she wasn't content to remain on the sidelines. Soon she found herself behind the wheel of the Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing, one of the most iconic cars of the era. It was an ambitious start for a novice racer. Her first races in the Sports Car Club of America was grueling, but Mary excelled, earning the respect of her male counterparts and carving out a place for herself in a male-dominated sport. What made her different wasn't just her gender. It was her relentless determination to prove she belonged. Mary's early career is a reminder that greatness often begins with a leap into the unknown. She didn't have a map or a mentor, just an unwavering belief in herself and a love for the sport. And that made all the difference. Mary entered the world of sports car racing in the 1950s, joining the Sports Car Club of America. Her competitors were all men, many of whom doubted her abilities. But on the track, Mary's skill spoke louder than their skepticism. Racing cars was her first love. She mastered the art of speed on four wheels before anyone, herself included, knew she'd one day become a legend on twos. Quoting Mary, "I didn't set out to make a statement. I just wanted to race." In the 1960s, Mary Mcgee's path took an unexpected turn. A friend and fellow racer, Steve McQueen, challenged her to try something new: motorcycles. The transition was far from easy, but Mary had never been one to back down from a challenge. Her debut in the American Federation of Motorcyclists made history. Mary Mcgee became the first woman to race motorcycles in the United States. Her journey was far from over. Imagine, if you will, the courage it took to embrace a passion for speed. As a young woman in the 1950s, at the time, women were seldom seen behind the wheel of a race car, let alone revving engines at a starting line. But Mary wasn't deterred. For her, the thrill of racing wasn't just about the competition. It was about breaking free. In 1975, Mary Mcgee made history as the first woman to ride solo in the grueling Baja 500, a feat of endurance and determination. Alone in the rugged desert, she faced mechanical failures and harsh terrain, yet persevered with unyielding grit, earning the respect of her peers and proving that the spirit of competition knows no gender. Mary's journey as a woman in the male-dominated sport was not just about personal triumph. She became a beacon of possibility for women in motorsports, hosting clinics and mentoring aspiring racers, demonstrating through her life that resilience can overcome any challenge. Even as arthritis forced her to hang up her racing boots, her legacy only grew stronger. Mary was inducted into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 2018. Mary was celebrated as a trailblazer, honored not just in the US, but internationally, for her courage and contributions to the sport. Her name will forever be etched in the annals of motorcycling history, a testament to what passion, persistence, and breaking boundaries can achieve. This micro-documentary, Racing Through History, The Life and Times of Mary Mcgee, has been brought to you and narrated by me, Bleak Rides. If you stuck around, I want to say hey, thank you. You made it to the end of the video. Why don't you hit that like button, pat yourself on the back. We've learned something about a great woman in history. And with that, it's the end.